Hello and welcome to the foot video. So, as I already mentioned, we're going to be working on the foot. Um, if you haven't done so, please make sure to grab some music and we'll get to it. That's only if the program likes me. There we go. Okay. So here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to plan out where the separation between front and back foot's going to be. And the way it looks, it's probably going to happen right about right here. So I'm going to grab the back faces and push them down. Oops. There we go. I'm going to turn that off. Just have this on. There we go. Okay, this we can push a bit, relax a little bit. But we want these two edges here to come down the foot and everything else go the other way. Okay? So due to that, I'm going to move this forward a little bit more, move that forward a little bit more. So now we have a nice clean drop off and an extrusion going forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that real quick. Nope, doesn't like me. So, just a couple of dots. Okay, and now we can do a nice extrusion down. There we go. Bring that back. Let's go right about right here. Now I'm leaving a little bit of gap right here in order to have my last ring of triangles to meet up right there. Okay, so because of that, I'm going to push this over a little bit more to get a better overall resolution. Well, that's sweet. This also marks the deformation zone, so I want to put in a buffer here so the toes can deform as one solid sock, and that the rest of the area will be kept light. I'm noticing that this needs to come up a bit. Now we can come in and quick drag this down. Now here's the tricky part. The foot was not modeled flat, right? So that's a common thing that a lot of people forget to do. So the game res model can be flat. That's not an issue. And it will still bake out correctly. But for this particular juncture, I'm just going to leave the polygons where they are and try and space them out as much as I can to get the best resolution out of my geometry as I can. So right about right here. We can pull this down. And we can see that the polys are a little bit distorted from one side to the other. That's okay. Shouldn't be an issue. We can very easily balance everything back out in a couple minutes. Okay. So here we're going to go ahead and close stuff off. Now this goes in really far. That's okay. Okay. Later on, we're going to be pushing this down when it's no longer stuck to the model, and having this indent there will help with the bake as a whole. Okay. Now since we're already here, oh really? Well, it won't let me cap it. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and relax this real quick. See? Okay. I must apologize. My machine's running just a bit slow. There we go. So I'm going to be adding a cut back here. And it's going to be coming from off to the side, into the foot. As we can see here, this face is just a bit short, but now that will help round out our heel. Also means that we can rearrange some of this stuff as well. There we go. Yes, we'll fix that after we're done. That is horrible. Or you know what? Better idea. We'll move this down to here. And alleviate some of that poly stretch. Now we have a nice closed off surface. Okay, there we go. Now all we have to do are the toes. And they can be a little bit tricky because we're going to be doing this slight sock. Let's hope for the best. Okay, I'm not quite sure why it's not letting me close off the bottom of the foot, but okay. So I'm going to go in and set just a basic quad that we can split later, just to keep things a little bit more easier on me, for one, and two, I don't have to vertex wrangle so many polygons. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we can just do a quick poly extrusion. Now at this point, I literally just want to cap this, only if it lets me. There we go. And try and stretch your polygons as much as you can for this, because it will make closing off the surface or unifying it with the top so much easier. so this will even out as soon as we do that last cut. So I'm going to continue here, get that in. Not fair. Okay, there we go. As we can see, some of these lines need to be readjusted, okay, so that they match overall. So if I just pull this up a little bit, we can see now that we can get everything to match all the way through. Okay, so this is a nice consistency thing. Now when I go to close this off, there we go, finally. We can run a middle line all the way through, including here, and that will help finish off our project as a whole. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. Now this can be relaxed. As we can see here, we're a little bit on the crooked side, so we can just come and pull these down a bit. Okay, please don't get too hung up on this since we are going to have to flatten this down. So right now the biggest focus is just getting in and finishing off the feet. And sometimes stuff does not go your way. Okay. So we definitely have one triangle in here that snuck itself in somehow. Not quite sure how that happened, but it does. So that's no big deal. We can just come in and very gracefully close off these sections. So as mentioned before, this area right here is going to be for deformation, and I already have it set up with the bin section right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and close it off real quick. Okay, there we go. So now we have this nice deformation zone here that still needs to be closed off in the back. So what I am prepping here are edges to dwindle down all the geometry here so it doesn't go all the way through the foot. Okay. This does require a little bit of practice, so if it doesn't look right the first time, please do not be discouraged. There we go. There we go. Let's go relax this a bit. Even some of this out. There we go. So now all we have to do is start closing off these sections here. Okay, and right off the bat, I'm going to go for the easiest one. So all these caps right here are super easy to close off. So those are going to be the first ones I'm going to target. Now we can see we're definitely losing some silhouette here, so I don't want to keep it like this. And most likely I'm going to be putting in another break down here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. There we go, and that just helps with my silhouette. I can do the same thing along most of the other toes. And what this allows it to do, it allows the geometry to have the silhouette breaks we're looking for the toe geo without having to put in a lot of detail. It also allows me to clean up some of these areas that just did not come out the way I wanted them to, which could give us baking error. So the same thing right here. These are areas that we want to try and avoid as possible, and if we do have them, we want to try and clean them up. Okay, so I only get to do the pinky. Okay, here too we have a edge that is not very desirable. So if we come in and just remove that here, we can see we're getting a hint of this can come down, and that's getting rid of all of this, which is what I do not want. Okay, so switching tools. There we go. Bringing back our multi-cut tool. Now it's very easy to triangle this, no problem. And now if we look, we have nice silhouette shapes for our toes, and it's fairly low. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the underside. Keep in mind that this tool wants to make quads. Okay, so when you see me here trying to get it to run a certain way, it won't because it wants quads, and that's okay. We can work around that. So we can see that this particular quad face here has enough room and it's not cutting in on itself. So this will actually pick out correctly. If you do not like this, you could recut this to have a cleaner looking mesh, but I'm going to leave it like that. And that was the foot. So please don't forget to even out the foot after you're done with everything, and I'll see you in the next video.